Beautiful morning, everybody. Saturday, I get to basically lay around, do schoolwork all day. Basically, I've been almost fasting for the last 2 days because I haven't felt like eating. So I've decided to go ahead and do myself a fast, just say, okay, I'm doing a cleanse and let my body do what it needs to do. I've been on several fasts before in my life. At one point, I did do a 7-day fast. Did I make it 7 days? And it was a case of my throat got really sore and everything. I wasn't drinking enough water. Another time, years and years later, that was back when my baby girl was not even born yet. She turned 17 tomorrow. So, let's see. What? I'm going to be totally honest here, folks. And I want you to understand this. I know that the government has great intentions by giving all of us wonderful women milk and cheese and everything through WIC when we get pregnant to help those babies out there. But I sure wish, I really wish, that they had encouraged me to have green smoothies and all of that, and maybe, giving me some free vegetables instead, because that was the reason I went off of being vegetarian. We were pretty poor at the time, and my husband saw a way to get some free food in the house, basically, and so that's what we did. And I understand why he did it. What I don't understand is why I was stupid enough to get back on the milk products. Because they're not good for me. Every time I've ever had milk products when I was pregnant, I gained 60 pounds. It was when I started getting off the milk products, I would start losing weight during my pregnancies, actually, and because I was heavyweight to begin with. That gone after you've had such a long time, and you go through so much stress and everything, it's really hard, really, really hard to get back to where you know you should be. Sorry. This is the other side of Donna that you don't know about. You think she smiles a lot? Well, she also gets emotional a lot. I suffer from hormonal depression, and I think a lot of that is caused by my diet. How's being happy? Let's see. But anyhow, at one point I was going towards raw. I had lost 40 pounds in a few weeks, and I didn't even know I was losing it. I was bouncing on my mini trampoline. I was eating my wheatgrass. I was hauling snow because our water had cut out, and the only thing I had to get water was to take the snow because everything had melted. And I had babies then. So at that time I was melting 15 buckets of snow just to get enough to wash one load of diapers by hand. That's how many buckets of 5-gallon buckets of snow it takes to wash a load of dirty diapers. Poopy diapers, I should say. The others would have been easier. Under a lot of stress. And the happiest times of my life have been when I was eating healthy. I was so high on life and it was so much more spiritual. the gifts I had were so clear and poignant, and my thoughts were clear, and I knew what I wanted, and I didn't feel like I was in a fog all the time. Basically, I want to get back to being vegetarian, vegan, raw food, and I want to do it the fastest way I can. Well, I haven't felt like eating for 2 days now. I mean, I've had 2 meals in 2 days. And to me, it's like, why did I even bother? I could have just had some more water, taken a nap, and been over that little bit of, I'm bored and I want to munch on something time. So I've decided to go ahead and go on a water fast. I'm going to take it basically 3 days at a time, so to speak. What I'd like to do is be able to fast long enough to get the fuzz off my tongue. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to accept if I make it 3 days, then I can make it 5, because I've done 5 with no problems. In fact, the only reason I broke my one after 5 was because I was pissed at my husband. And I wanted to, show him. Like I showed him. I showed me. What an idiot. So, anywho, gonna fast for 3 days. If I make that and I'm feeling fine, then I will go ahead and go for 5. If I make that, I'm going to add to 7. If I make 7, I'm going to add to 10. If I make 10, I'm going to add to 14. If I make 14, I'm going all the way to 30. Because if I've made 14, 30 is not going to be a problem. Etc., until, I'm ready to break it. And when I'm ready to break it, I'm just going to go straight on raw foods. Because why should I put any sort of toxins back into a body who has worked so hard to cleanse and get rid of those toxins? So, lots of green smoothies and greens and greens and greens and some fruit and, everything raw and fresh. And by then, it's going to be spring and summer, and there's going to be more stuff out there, and I'm going to have a chance to really get my body on the right track before winter comes. Really having a hard time getting away from that, and I don't want to go back to it. I mean, why should I? Don't have to deal with the same stresses I had then. I got other stresses to deal with now. But that's about it for today. Now you know what's going on.